This week on our slow journey, Hannah takes a little spill. We arrive in
Alaska!
and we see some Canadian wilderness.
We're hiking and biking and seeing all the sights, and you should join us on our slow journey.
Hi, it is Monday, May the 13th. It is Monday, May the 12th, and we are in a new week.
New week.
And we don't know what week that is, so I'm going to flash it up on the screen right now. And now that we are where we are, what sport are you going to participate in? I was going to do the 100-meter dash.
What? Oh, I'm gonna do the what's the thing that you're kayaking down the river?
Yeah, that.
Can you guess where we are?
We're where they play the Olympics, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in Olympic National Park.
Yeah, and so far it's gorgeous. So mossy,
So green.
so scenic.
And it's been this way since Forks, but it just feels extra different and extra vibey and so pretty. And then we're next to a river that is crystal clear and it makes you just want to jump right in. And then we found some waterfall kind of things with the river.
And we're on our way to our campsite for the next couple of nights, which is right next to a hot spring. So I think we have to pay for the privilege to soak in the hot spring, and we might just take them up on that offer because it sounds quite delightful. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do today. So maybe go soak in a hot spring if there's any availability, and then tomorrow probably go on some hikes.
Yep.
I don't know. Hannah's been the planner recently, so
I think, yeah.
go along with what she says. Hi.
Hello.
It's later in the day on Monday, May 12th, and we are getting wrapped up for the day. It was a fun day, some cool adventures.
Yeah.
We drove about an hour from Forks to one of the entrances of Olympic National Park. And I know we mentioned potentially doing some hot springs in this area. What was it? The Solduck? Yeah, the Solduck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Solduck Hot Springs, and we did it. So
It was so nice.
Yeah, we had about an hour and a half in there. What did you think?
I liked it. I think I liked Hot Springs National Park better just because the hot springs then were like built a long time ago and they based it on like the Roman baths, so it was kind of more like, I don't know, fancier, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was more like pools.
Yeah.
But the perk of this one was that it was outside, so we got to enjoy like
really
the
cool.
nice weather. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to look at all the trees. It rained a little bit once.
Yeah, while we
which
were
was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Kind of cooled us down because it was, I think, 104.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there was a 98, a 104, and a 107, and we mostly were in the 104. So it was cool.
107 was a bit much.
It was a bit much. Just 3 degrees made a big difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that for a little while. Now we're at camp, cooking up some dinner, and I think we're gonna call it a day.
Yep. Tomorrow
Next.
I'm excited because we get to do some fun hikes.
Yes, we haven't hiked in quite some time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hike to a beautiful waterfall. So can't wait to show you.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, May the 13th, and we are currently on a trail to Solduck Falls.
Yeah.
And this trail is very nicely located. Kind of like the trail that we did in Sequoia. It's actually right at our campground.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to drive anywhere, didn't have to go do anything. Just stay set up at camp and hit the trail, which we love. And yeah, so it's a 2.8 or 2.6.
Something like that.
One of those 2
A little less than 3 miles, I think.
Yeah, to the falls, and it's just gorgeous. All the greenery, all the moss. And you can hear the river, the Solduck River off in the distance. So we'll be enjoying the weather.
Yeah, a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see you at the falls. Can he do it? Solid.
Can you do it? Okay?
Yeah.
You hurt yourself?
No, I'm gonna have a bruise on my knee.
Poor thing.
I got all of that. Stumbled upon a nice little shelter cabin. I suppose for when the weather gets bad, quick, everyone can come here. Getting closer to the falls, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Hi.
Hello.
We made it back.
We made it back from our 4.5-mile hike. It was a little longer than we were expecting, but it was very good. The whole way was beautiful, covered in moss, and the falls were incredible. We made it and hung out there for like half an hour, had some snacks, hung out, and then now we are making some dinner. We're making a Andy classic with some potatoes and veggies and vegan sausage, so we're very excited for that.
It's gonna be great.
So tomorrow we're heading out of Olympic National Park and on to our next place, which is Bellingham, because we are literally 3 nights away from being on the ferry to Alaska, which is bonkers. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Hi. It is Wednesday, May 14th, and we are leaving Olympic National Park on our way to Bellingham, Washington. We ship out to Alaska in 2 days, so today and tomorrow are rest and chore days. Got some things to pick up, like seasick patches, just in case we get seasick on the boat, and just some other things to make sure that we are all set to go for Alaska. So that's what we're doing today. Hello. We've tackled the land. We've tackled the air. Now it's time.
To tackle the sea. Yeah.
Today is the day that we're getting on the Alaska Marine Highway out of Bellingham, Washington. And we'll end up in Juneau, Alaska. We have a few days on the boat. We're hoping to see wildlife. And we are hoping to not get seasick.
Yeah. So we are currently in the car line to wait until we can drive the car onto the boat that is over there. It's very big. It's called the Columbia. So we'll drive on, and then the boat will be taking us through the inside passage, which is supposed to be a really, really pretty boat ride. A lot of people just do the ferry as like a cruise kind of thing. So
Kind of like a bare bones cruise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hopefully the views will be good, and hopefully, like Andy said, we won't be ill. We'll be driving onto the boat soon, so we'll see you on the boat.
Oh. Hello, hello. We boarded the ship. Sylvester is below deck, and he's all parked up. And we just got to our quarters. And I'm just going to give you a little tour here. And Hannah is hiding somewhere.
Can you guess where I am?
Is she in the bathroom?
Nope.
Is she on the top bunk?
Nope.
Is she below the bed?
Nope. Here I am. There's so much room in our quarters.
So much room for activities. And we got a nice view out the side. We still have about an hour and 15 minutes before we ship out.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. With
Double
the mirror.
action.
This is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
So
it feels like we're at camp because we have bunk beds. We will probably, like Andy said, we have like a little while before we ship off, so we'll probably look around.
We're gonna go explore.
See what's up.
There's observation decks. There's a room called the video game room.
So we have to see what that is. I think there's a movie room.
Yes, I think so.
So just gotta explore around. And thankfully when we pulled Sylvester in, it was easy peasy. So hopefully it remains that way for a 3-day tour.
Oh yeah.
Not a 3-hour tour, 3-day tour.
I have the top bunk. Hannah has the bottom bunk.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Bye. Bed. And a nice day on the water. Hello.
Hello.
We're back on land for a short period of an hour and a half, but we are officially in
Alaska.
We made it.
We're in Alaska.
We made it to Ketchikan, Alaska, and this is the first docking for our ship, and it is
Sunday the 18th.
Yes.
Tomorrow we get to Juneau in the evening time, I think.
Yeah.
Last night was a bit of a bumpy ride. Did you wake up?
I did, yeah. Yeah, every once in a while we hit open waters. A lot of the time we're in the channels and we're between islands and it's nice smooth sailing, but when we hit open waters it's a little...
Yeah. It goes all over the place a little bit.
Yeah, so we experienced that last night. It's a lot better when we're laying down, like motion sickness wise.
Yeah.
So I was able to fall back asleep.
Yeah, me too.
But we're just here for an hour and a half. We're walking around.
And you saw some bald eagles, right?
Yes.
Already.
Yeah. I woke up a little bit earlier than Hannah. So I was on the deck looking at the Ketchikan, and I saw off in the distance a bald eagle and a juvenile bald eagle right next to each other. So maybe they was getting some hunting lessons or something. I don't know. I don't know what bald eagles do in their free time. But one of my goals in Alaska is to find out. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later. Bye. Hello.
Hello.
It is May 20th. It's a Thursday.
Yep.
And we are in sunny Juneau, Alaska. Walking downtown.
Yesterday it was a bit sunny, but as you can see, we've taken to some umbrellas.
Just crossing the street. Yeah.
Thanks to the rain.
Thanks to the rain, indeed. Ooh, got some cover. All right. So today we're hanging out in Juneau. We got off the boat yesterday at around 6 o'clock. We're staying at a little Airbnb right up the hill, and it's about a 5-minute walk to the downtown touristy area.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, so we're walking to get some coffee, and we're gonna be here for another full day. So today, tomorrow, and then we're back on the boat. That would make it Saturday.
Day. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting on the boat at like 6, getting back off the boat at like 2, and we'll be in Skagway.
Yeah, and then we'll be able
mainland.
to stay there for a day and then drive into Canada to get to Alaska.
Yeah,
The
so
main
that's,
part.
that's the plan for today. Good morning.
Today is May 21st. I don't know what day of the week it is, but that doesn't matter.
Wednesday?
Oh yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We drove outside of Juneau to a place called Eagle Beach, which we're hoping to see some eagles, as the name says. But even if we don't, it looks like it's going to be pretty views. We might walk around a little and just hang out here and experience the beauty of Alaska. Juneau, downtown area yesterday, we walked around and just did some shopping and then got got to see a museum that is called Alaska Heritage, which was about like the native Alaskan tribes here, and that was really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's one of the best ones to just kind of like see where everything is originating from here.
Yeah, the Heritage Museum was really cool because it kind of talks about, it really focused on the fishing culture here.
Yeah.
And how they respect the land, they respect the animals. The whole thing was about everything has a soul. So you have to respect it, as you fish and as you build on the land and everything like that. So it was really cool. I value that mindset that they have.
Yeah.
So.
And they even it showed how they made different fishing techniques to allow for the salmon to go and give birth, and then they would still catch them, but they would encourage the salmon to come back, because that's one thing about salmon is that every year they come back to where they were born. So they didn't want to scare the salmon away and then they wouldn't be able to catch them anymore. So they created a way so that the salmon would trust the area still. They would get enough fish to live on, and the salmon would come back. So it just shows how important it is to respect the land and respect the animals. So yeah.
So yesterday was in town. Today is outside of town. After this, first off, we're fixing up some breakfast, even though it's 11. After we explore Eagle Beach State Rec area, we are going to something called Nugget Falls, which is right near the glacier.
It's supposed to be really, really pretty.
Yeah, so can't wait to get there.
Yeah.
Hi. So we decided to make I guess not decided, but part of our walk to Nugget Falls is at the Mendenhall Glacier. And there's a whole visitor center and everything like that. We were just reading. So the glacier used to be, So the glacier used to be right here. All right here. And where is it now? Way back there. This was back in the 30s. You'd be able to touch it from that point right there. But now, in the past 85 years or whatever, it's receded all the way back there.
And then it said that it's expected in 2050 that you're not even going to be able to see it from here at all.
Mm-hmm. So, but tell me again how global warming is fake.
But we're here. We get to see it.
Yeah, we get to see it.
Hello.
Hi.
Today is May 22nd, and we are in Skagway, Alaska. Andy's gonna put up the tent. We just got to our RV camp around 2-ish today, and then we immediately put up the tent and fell asleep for an hour. We were both exhausted. We had to wake up at 4 a.m. this morning to get to the Marine Highway by 5, and then we loaded onto the ship by 6 and got here by 1:45 p.m. So yeah, the RV park is in a beautiful area. There's mountains all around us, and then there's a cute little downtown area that we're gonna explore tomorrow. There's a National Historical Park here, so we have to check that out. And Skagway is known for the gold rush time era, and all the people rushing here to find gold, but then having a demise of sorts. So we'll tell you more about that tomorrow, because it's definitely an interesting little town. So yeah, what else did we do today?
We went grocery shopping.
Oh yeah, we went grocery shopping, and this town is definitely one of the smaller ones. Juneau is the capital of Alaska, so we kind of got used to the idea of having like a real big grocery store, but here there is not that. So it was kind of a rinky-dink grocery store, and the prices showed it. So we just got some ramen and a few other things, and we're gonna buy more when we get to Whitehorse, Canada, which will be not tomorrow, but the following day probably, depending on how the border goes. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Tent's all set up.
Yay! And you can see the beautiful mountaintops right behind you.
So however long this video was, that's how long it took to get the tents up. It's a little bit dark because we only have one window open right now, but our cozy home.
Our cozy home, and we both are very, very excited to be back on the tent. We got to be in the tent for a little while in Forks and northern Washington, but
Olympic.
Yeah, Olympic. But we are excited to be in the tent in Alaska, and we'll be here for like 2 months basically.
Yeah.
So
2 months. July, I think it's July 21st where we ship out.
Yeah, July 21st. So like
So is it?
literally 2
It's
months.
the 22nd.
yesterday.
Wow,
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. But pretty much exactly 2 months. So yeah, we'll be here for a while.
See you tomorrow. Goods are secured for the morning.
Going to get some coffee now. Ooh, at possibly the Sitting Sasquatch.
Ooh.
We'll see. Hello and good afternoon. It is Friday, May 23rd, and we're still in Skagway. This morning, we drove, it's like a 0.8 mile drive to the downtown touristy area. We got some cinnamon buns, we got some coffee, we saw some sights by way of historical buildings. We saw a really cool photo gallery for a National Geographic award-winning photographer.
It was amazing.
Super cool. And then now we switched campsites because we were at an electric campsite with power, but we decided to switch to a tent site, which is like $40 cheaper. So, but we are going to walk back into town. We're going to go on a Madame tour.
Which is like a history tour around town. It's like a walking tour. So we'll learn more about the history of Madames and other crazy things that happened, during the Gold Rush era of Skagway.
So we will tell you more about that once we know what we learned. Oh, and we're gonna go to a brewery and get some beer before that. So.
Hello.
Hi.
It is later in the day on the 23rd. We got to camp, and Andy's making some dinner. And we've had such an eventful, fun day in Skagway today. We did more of the touristy stuff, for sure. We saw you earlier, and we had walked around the shops, which was really fun. And then we were headed to the brewery in the downtown area called Skagway Brewing Co. So good. One cool thing about them is that they have a lot of initiatives to be green. So they capture CO2 that they produce and various other things. But the best one that we loved was that they have a hydroponic garden. So they're able to produce their own greens and vegetables throughout the year because we're in Alaska, so it's hard to get fresh greens. And so like 100% of their greens that they sell at the restaurant are produced by themselves, and then 80% of their herbs are produced in their garden. So pretty amazing. And because of that, we got a salad, and it was delicious. And then we got their veggie burger, which was also amazing. And then we tried a flight with their with 4 of their beers. The one that I liked the most was the Boomtown Brown, which was really good. And then what was your favorite?
The Blue Something Porter.
Blue Top Porter.
Blue Top Porter.
So after lunch, we went to the National Historical Park and learned all about the Gold Rush, which was really interesting. It was more from the male perspective because that's who was coming here for gold for the most part. There were some women who came here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the historical park focused on like the people who found the gold and then caused the Klondike gold rush. Probably like a couple people in the end who got rich, and then she said like the people who did get rich somewhat,
they blew all their money.
They blew all their money. So
all of the, the gold millionaires, they wasted all their money.
Yeah.
So that leads us to the people who actually got rich. So you think of all these miners, they're coming in, they're like, oh, I'm going to hit it big. I got to get all this gear. I got to spend time in a city. I have to buy food. I have to buy all this stuff. There were smarter business people that are like, this is an opportunity for us. So people came into Skagway, not for the gold, but to support the gold industry. And a group of those people who saw this opportunity were
women. And there were some women who were here, and like one woman in particular, I forget her name, but she
I forget too.
She built her money by making pies. Like she was just making pies.
Yeah.
I think she was also like doing a cook job like on the side as well, or her hustle was, I guess, making pies and selling them to the people who were here.
Yeah, she was advertising it as like a nice homemade pie for all the boys
who miss home.
Who were missing home.
Yeah,
so.
And she made it because she came here by herself. She left her 3 kids and her husband back in Seattle. She came up here, did her pie making, and she made plenty of money to bring them up here as well, and she made a life. And so back to why I'm wearing this on my arm. We did a walking tour with the Red Onion Saloon. It was an amazing walking tour, but the person who was hosting it was a madame, or someone dressed as one. And so she took us around downtown Skagway and back to the saloon at the end for a museum, and told us about the history, not just the gold rush era, but also about the women who came here and what they ended up doing. So some women came here by choice to be sex workers. Some women came here and kind of just like happened into sex working because that was like the best way to make money. And then some people, unfortunately, were forced into it. There was another woman who came here, and there was like various people who came here for religious reasons. They heard about Skagway in a negative light, and they were like, I want to come here and try to help these people and try to, get their souls to God in a positive way.
Yeah, so this woman, she came, and like Hannah said, she wanted to prevent this action from going on, so she would stand outside of these brothels and these houses and stuff like that, and she would stand, find a big rock, stand on that, and basically like shout at the men going in, don't do this, you'll be damned, this is terrible, this, that, and the other. And obviously this was bad for business. So the women working at those places decided we should just go pay her off. So she leaves and she goes away and she leaves us alone. So that's exactly what they did. And the lady was like, all right, let me pocket this money.
Yeah.
So she would just go around, every night to each one of these houses and collect the money.
But that money didn't go into her pocket necessarily because she ended up buying a house. Ultimately, she built a house, and that house was used to help these women get out of sex working if they chose to. So
it was a safe house.
It was a safe house, exactly. I'm sure these women wanted to get out whenever they could, and so women like this one woman made it possible for them. Today was an amazing day. We learned a lot about Skagway. We decided to stay here another night, actually, and we're going to do a hike tomorrow, and then just kind of have more of a chill day after that.
One big step out, and we're gonna look.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey there.
How's it going?
Hope you're doing good.
We are.
We are. Today has been a slower day.
Today
it is
being
Saturday, May 24th. Ooh. We're good.
Almost turned into a not so good day.
We didn't get out of the tent until like 9:40 a.m. this morning. We were both a bit pooped. And then now we are on a nice little walk. It's called the Lower Reed Falls.
Yeah, named after the man who shot Soapy Smith, who was a gang leader, and he caused all sorts of ruckus. And once he died, things started to turn around.
Yeah, people were excited over his death.
Yeah.
And so Reed was the guy who killed him, and kind of a hero, yeah. And it was a good little hike and beautiful waterfall. And right below the hike to the waterfall is a cemetery with Reed himself and a few other people who, some of which have names, some of which don't. All of them have stories on the billboard, and it was cool to read. So, yeah, lots today. And then tomorrow we head into Canada.
Morning. Sunday, May 25th, and it's a travel day. So we're headed out of Skagway on into Canada. So we're going to be in Canada for a couple days as we're passing through, getting back to kind of the mainland of Canada, or of the United States, so Alaska. And before we do, we're going to go get some cinnamon rolls. Breakfast time. Peanut butter and oatmeal. It's like our go-to.
Yeah, we packed up camp and we're headed to Canada.
Headed to Canada. Oh, the cinnamon bun place was closed, so we couldn't do cinnamon buns, unfortunately.
We wanted to this morning again, but they were closed.
Yeah, such a disappointment.
Also, today's May 25th.
Yummy, 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 yummy. We're sitting in the touristy area of Skagway. Yeah, we're people watching while we're eating. Well, that's breakfast done, and now we're on to Canada. Hopefully they don't find all of our paraphernalia at the border. Just kidding. We don't have any paraphernalia. We made it!
Made it.
We're in Canada! We done did it! Woo! Alright, we're here at our first stop in Canada. Just a little roadside pull-off. A little bathroom break. And Hannah's going to take a film photo as well. So one thing that she's been doing is she's been using her grandfather's old film camera on this trip, and so far through 2 rolls that we've gotten developed and probably about halfway through the 3rd.
Yeah.
And in this stretch we've been taking a lot more film photos, but we're just gonna do a little film photo, have a little stretch of the legs, and then be on our way. It's going our way. It's so cute.
So small. It must be young. It's all about.
We've been in Canada for like 15 minutes and we saw a little black bear cross the... Black bear? Yeah, definitely not a brown bear. Black bear cross the road. So, got some pictures, got a little bit of footage, and it was just a one. Didn't have any cubs with it or anything. But it was cool. So hopefully we see some more. And it's crazy. It's crazy. It was like right next to us.
It was so close.
Yeah, it was super close. So, yay. Yay. All right, we made it to camp for tonight, and we are just outside of Haines Junction in the Yukon of Canada, and we'll pop out and show you around a little bit. It is a bit windy, so hopefully tonight's not too bad. But we're right off the highway on some, they call it, their public lands, I guess they're called the Canada Parcel Lands. Here we are. Just mountain peaks on
Talk about
mountain peaks. I know. Seriously. So it's about a 16-acre piece of land, so no one else is around, which is really nice. So it's just us, the wind, and the bears.